a pretty Saturday morning. Not really. Man, look at that. Look at how gloomy it is. It has been misting rain all night long. It's like a fog, really. It's like a really thick, heavy fog. But it's keeping everything just wet enough. So, just like that, y'all saw where we was at yesterday evening. Got Mickey's loader in here. Y'all didn't get to see how I left this loader sitting over there. We loaded the last little bit of the wood. The delimber or chambers is still sitting over there. Like I said, we wasn't going to use the chambers here anyway. That's load number 3 for the day. Shooting for 12. Probably only going to get like 11 though. We'll see what we get. But y'all see our rock that we got in here. They just delivered me another load of rock. And then all the way up there by the blacktop, y'all can see my mats up there. So, yeah. I'm fixing to go get on, let's see. We got to get this established so I don't keep confusing y'all. The old loader there, the one that's out there just delimbing, that's Momo. We call her Momo. This old shear over here, rubber tire cutter, that's Granny. Because she's a little bit older. Actually, I think Momo is actually the oldest out of the two. But I think that's how that went. I think we bought this loader and then we bought that rubber tire. But I can't really remember. Either way, it doesn't matter. Whoops. Changing y'all stuff around here. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, whenever I say I'm going to get on Momo, I'm going to get on that old loader. When I say I'm going to get on Granny, I'm going to get on that old cutter. So I'm fixing to go get on Granny. Brady's running Momo. We're on a close enough skid. Michael can handle everything. We don't need the 620 running. Like I said, Mickey's got this over here, loading trucks and delimbing. He delimbs and loads. This one just delimbs. So yeah, we're just getting things going. Y'all hang out. I'm gonna get some cut in a minute, which Matt's got plenty cut. I just need to go get some rows cut of him to help alleviate his day, to help get him off the wood so my tracks aren't getting pulled real hard running that wood. Monday they're gonna be here to change the top rollers and put some spacers under the rollers to help tighten the tension up on them tracks. And then, so yeah, I'm fixing to get on Granny and go down there and knock some down rows out. Whenever I get that cut ahead a little bit, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to take y'all down there to the deeper spots that I found of this old railroad tram. And I'm going to show y'all the railroad tram and kind of do some explaining on how that worked back in the day. So anyway, yeah, y'all hang out. We got some cool stuff coming up. We'll be back in a minute. Okie dokie, so we're looking here. It's really hard to see on video. I was hoping it was going to be better visible, but it's not. The more I do this YouTube stuff, the more I'm learning. The things I can see out here that I think are going to be like, man, that's awesome. I need to show that to somebody. When I go to show it on camera and I'm watching it through my screen, it's like, that don't look that cool. But anyway, what y'all are looking at right here, you can see there's like a drop right there, and it goes down, and then it comes back up. Y'all can hear my machines, my loaders are working over there. So I mean, we're just right on the other side of this. But what this is an old railroad tram. What research I've done, they this. All right, first let me get it this way. So with the railroad tram, so the lumber companies back in the day, this would have been, you know, as early as 1890. They were really big from like 1905 to 1915, 1920, until the truck industry started taking over logging. Whenever they would get in a place, they would set up a mill, and the closest one that I know of from here is the one that's right over through the woods in Glenmore called Longleaf. used to be a huge, and I would love, there's actually like a museum place set up, and I want to go in there and walk around and see if maybe they will let me video a little bit and explain and maybe talk to the people. If I understood it right, the people that own the museum were family to the people that owned the mill back in the early 1900s, but it was huge. So if I read my research right, this railroad tram would have belonged partly to the Longleaf Timber Company or mill or whatever, which was a part of Red River and Gulf Railroad Inc. or something like that back in the day. Pretty big thing back then, because I think they said this track, not necessarily this one, this could have been just a spur, but those companies combined had like 118 miles of track from back in the day, which is huge. Most places, you know, they set up and they went, you know, 15-20 miles out from their mill, and that was that, you know, an average size logging camp. And this supposed to be in a big place. So anyway, what they would do is they would have their camp set up, and then they would go out and they would start cutting. And as they were cutting the timber, they were building a railroad, you know, and they tracked out however far they need to go, and that was how they got their timber to the mill, was through a railroad track. It was a small gauge, it wasn't full scale to, you know, back then it was smaller. But I can't tell you what the ridge I'm standing on was it. I would think it is, because y'all can see where that truck is back here, where the road is. It's lower than the hill here. So if that was lower, this is higher, that's dug out, and that's almost the same height as the road out there. What they would have done is they would have took like some kind of steam powered dredge or, you know, something like that back then, and they would have dug this out and just scooped it up here, what we're standing on, and then they'd have built their railroad track over top of it. I have found railroad, not here, but in other places we've worked on this kind of stuff, I have found tracks, and we found old engine wheels, you know, rail car wheels, stuff like that. Of course, railroad spike stuff. Not a whole bunch. No, that's over 13 years of logging, working on 14 now. But anyway, so it's not uncommon to come across these things. It's really neat, and I wish I could go back in time just to see how things were, you know. How often did they get through here a day? How many board feet a day did they run off of this? Or how many board feet total just come out of this area, you know? I just thought that was cool. Kind of give y'all a little history on this and show y'all what how they used to log back in the day, you know. It's logging has evolved tremendously, and it's quite impressive to see the changes that we have today versus, you know, back then. But anyway, so yeah, this railroad tram here would have belonged to the Longleaf Timber Company and Red River and Gulf Railroad. So there y'all go. There's your history lesson for the day. Y'all hang out. We're almost done. We're loaded the next to last load. We're waiting on one more truck to get back, and we're gonna call it a day. Be done 12. Be done 35 if I got it counted right in 3 days. It's good. It's real good. So anyway, we got this little small patch already cut out. Matt is over there at the new patch with the rubber tire. John Deere's coming Monday morning, and I'm gonna dive in. They're just gonna have to learn to light the camera. We're gonna watch them fix the, you know, I don't know the word I'm looking for here. They're gonna, it's not a patch job or anything like that, but there's nothing necessarily wrong with the track. They're just getting some age on them, and this is some of the things you have to do with a track machine to extend the life of those rails. Because those rails, if you do rails, top rollers, and I think it's half of the bottom rollers, you reuse your pads, it's $20,000. Ooh, that hurts. It's $20,000. You just, there it is. So anyway, y'all hang tight. So we're gonna have that coming up, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get some video of who knows what. It's not gonna be a whole bunch more probably. And yeah, we're gonna call it a day, and then we're gonna call it a week, and then we'll be back Monday. Yeah, y'all hang out, we'll be back. It is so humid, my lens is fogging up. So remember that mat? Oh my God, y'all can't hardly see nothing. That's a little bit better. So y'all remember that mat we set up there? That soft spot right there. I'm gonna go ahead and set it in there. I'm gonna place it in there with the skidder. I apologize for the crappy view. All the fog. He needs to set that down and grab it a little bit further up. I'll let him get it somewhat in place, and then we'll go from there. You can go here. Grab down here. Go forward. Get him to go forward with it, and then we'll place it. Let's see what his next move is. There's our last truck for the day. Oh, turn loose of that. Spin around. Alright, so y'all can see we completely canned the idea of doing it with the cutter. I don't know what happened. I know what happened. This was at the end of the day. It was Saturday. The big LSU game was going on. Everybody was ready to go. I'm going to edit out the part of Puppy coming in. But Puppy was coming in to get his last load. Everybody was frustrated because we ended up working a little bit extra that day than they didn't anticipate on and everything. But anyway, so he's trying to place this mat, and it just was not going like what I wanted to. So I got in the track cutter. It was sitting right there. Matt was over there at the new spot already. We done cut this spot out Saturday, and Matt was over there running the rubber tire. So the track cutter was sitting here, staged up, ready for deer to get here and work on it. So I jumped up in it, and you're gonna watch me here in a second. I'm gonna hook this mat with the arm. There's some cables on the mat that you can't necessarily see, and I'm gonna hook those cables with the bunch arm on the head, and I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna spin around, and Michael's gonna come over here and he's gonna level those big humps that got put in it up with his blade, and then I'm gonna replace the mat with the track machine in the road like what I should have done to begin with. But anyway. So yeah, that just kind of fills y'all in on what's going on here. Y'all enjoy this. Keep watching. we're wrapping the day up. It's time to go home. It's been real fun. I've enjoyed it. Hey, what's that? There it is. New hat. I had hats made. They ain't for sale yet. They may be in the future, but anyway, y'all keep coming back. We'll keep making these good videos, and till the next one, we'll catch y'all next time.